dear students. Now today we are going to discuss about something very important for CS Executive, SBEC as well as Company Law paper, that is called as drafting. Yes students, nowadays ICSI has been asking the concept of drafting in your SBEC paper for 5 marks. So we are going to draft over here board resolutions and shareholders resolutions. Do not worry, it's not very complicated. But yes, you need to remember few drafts, some legal language, some procedure, and drafting will be very easy for all of you. So let us start by learning some rules of drafting first of all. So in this chapter 3 of your SBEC, you have charters of the company, that is memorandum of association and articles of association. Also in part B of that chapter, you have procedure to alter this MOA and AOA. As we know students, there are total 6 clauses in MOA. Of that, you can alter the 5 clauses, that is name clause, registered office clause, object clause, liability clause and the capital clause. So when we are drafting the board resolution or the shareholders resolution for alteration of MOA or AOA, it's very important to remember the procedure of that. So first of all, we are going to remember the procedure. Okay. And in procedure, definitely we need to remember the section numbers. Along with the section numbers, how many and whose approvals are required. Like let us take a very simple example. Suppose we want to draft a sample board resolution to change the name of the company. Okay. So now this is a question which may be asked by ICSI. In your SBEC paper or your company law paper, draft a resolution in order to change the name of company. So what we have to remember first, the procedure to change name. What is the applicable section over here? If you remember, applicable section is section number 13. Okay. And whose approvals are required? Board resolutions, shareholders resolution, that is SR we require, and lastly we require MCA approval. So with this 3 we can alter the name of company. So once we know the section, once we know the approvals, we are ready to draft our resolution. So let us learn certain rules of that. Always start resolution with double inverted commas. After double inverted commas, you are going to write 2 words in capital, that is resolved that. This is a standard format guys. Don't insert anything from your pocket, neither delete anything. Okay, so resolved that. After that, we'll be writing pursuant to section 13 and other applicable sections of Companies Act 2013. Okay. So this is a standard format which we will remember. If you don't remember section number, don't try to do fakeology over here, as it may reduce your marks. Okay. So if you don't remember, directly write resolve that pursuant to sections of Companies Act 2013. Okay. So now after this, we are going to remember whose approvals are required. Okay. Like for change of name of company, we require board resolution. After board resolution, special resolution, and you require MCA approval. So right now we are drafting board resolution. So when we are drafting board resolution, still 2 approvals are pending after board resolution. We have to keep that in mind. Okay. So for that we will start like this: subject to members' approval and approval of Ministry of Corporate Affairs Okay, so this two subject to approvals we have added. Why? Because after board resolution we require this two approval. Now we'll start with the board resolution. The consent of board of directors. Please pay attention to the language, students. Consent of board of directors be and is hereby accorded. Okay, be and is hereby accorded to change the name of the company from. Now, if in question they have given you names like from PQR to XYZ, then only mention, otherwise leave it blank. Okay? From dash to dash, full stop. I hope the first paragraph is very clear to all of you. After that, we are going to leave a line because we are not leaving any space in the left hand side. Okay, so we will start the second paragraph like this. Resolved again, but this time we will add one word called as further. So resolved further that. Okay, so as many paragraphs you take, you are going to write same resolved further that, all three will be in capital. Resolved further that. Now in the second paragraph we are going to give authorization. So authorization to one particular director and one particular company secretary. So resolved further that, comma, Mr. Dash and Mr. Dash. Don't write names from your pocket, it's not required, leave it blank. Dash and dash, the director and the company secretary of the company respectively. I hope everyone knows why do we add this word. Okay. Resolve further that Mr. Dash and Mr. Dash, director and company secretary of the company respectively. Now we are going to give them authority. Be and is hereby authorized. Okay, now we know that for name change, first we need to apply for the name reservation. Okay, so we need to give a special power in this resolution. Be and is hereby authorized to apply for name reservation and do all such acts, deeds, things and file forms with ROC in order to give effect to above mentioned resolution. Full stop, double inverted comma closed. I hope the second paragraph is also nicely understood. Okay, we will be looking at the drafts, but I just wanted you to understand how do you write this. So please pay attention to the small points. Firstly, we started our resolution with double inverted commas by writing resolve that pursuant to section 13 and other applicable laws of Companies Act, then remembering which all approvals are required after this resolution. So for that we wrote subject to approval of members and MCA. Then you start with the resolution saying that consent of board of directors Be and is hereby accorded. Be very much conversant with this language, guys, because this is a language which is used for the drafting. Okay, so be and is hereby accorded to change the name of company from this to this. After that, the second paragraph is always a authorization paragraph unless and until you want to add something extra in your resolution. Okay, so the second paragraph, there's a standard which remains same. So you need to learn this. So now let us see the other drafts. I hope all of you have understood these resolutions properly. Now let us see the draft which is given in your module, the same which we learnt. That's a sample draft resolution, that is board resolution for change of name of the company. So resolve that pursuant to section 13, other provisions of Companies Act rules, subject to approval of ROC, Central Registration Center, MCA. If we write only MCA for an exam point of view, it's more than enough. Approval of members, consent of board of directors, be and is hereby accorded to change the name of the company. After that, the next resolution is the authorization resolution. I hope this is very clear to all of you. Now let us see the next resolution for change of registered office from one state to another, but this time it's a general meeting resolution. So in general meeting resolution, again go back to the basics. For changing or shifting registered office from one state to another, first of all, which section numbers are applicable? Section 12, it's for registered office. After that, whose approval is required? Board resolution, shareholders resolution, that is special resolution. Along with that, RD approval is required. RD is your regional director. So this is your shareholders resolution, means we are drafting special resolution over here. So which approval is required after this? I hope all of you got it correct. It is only RD approval. So just check out how they have written. Resolve that pursuant to section 13, read with section 12 and other applicable provisions of your Companies Act, subject to approval of regional director and consent of members of the company. So this is your subject to. Consent of members of company, be and is hereby accorded to shift registered office of company from state of dash to state of dash. Always remember, if mentioned in the question from which to which state, then only please write, otherwise leave it blank. After that, the next paragraph over here talks about the alteration of MOA. We know that there are 4 types of shifting of registered office. First one, within the local limits. Second one, outside the local limits but within the state. Thirdly, outside, that is from one ROC to another ROC but within the state. And the fourth one is from one state to another. So out of this 4, we alter our MOA only and only in the fourth one, that is when we shift our registered office from one state to another. What is the reason for this? Because if you remember, in the registered clause of your MOA, we write only and only the state in which registered office is situated. I hope everyone remembers this. Hence, when we are shifting our registered office from one state to another, then only we need to change our MOA. So over here, as we are shifting from one state to another, we will alter our MOA, and alteration of MOA is always done by the shareholders. So in the shareholders resolution only, the second paragraph will be alteration of your MOA. Now how do you write this? Let us check out. Resolved further that. Okay. Now registered office, that is situation clause, is your second clause, right? So it is Roman letter 2. Please remember, clause 2 of memorandum of association, be and is hereby substituted by the following. So over here we have to write clause 2. Okay, the registered office of company shall be situated in state of dash. So over here the new state is going to come. I hope everyone understood the second paragraph. Going to the third paragraph, again the authorization paragraph. Here again it will start like this. Resolved further that Mr. Dash and Dash, director and CS of company, be and is hereby authorized to do all things deeds act in order to give effect to the above mentioned resolution. I hope the second resolution is also very clear. We are going to see one more resolution over here because this was recently asked, and it was about the increase of the authorized share capital of the company. Now recollect students that authorized share capital is given in which clause? Yeah, you are correct. It's a fifth clause of MOA. So over here we are going to alter the fifth clause, and that too they have asked us the shareholders resolution. So we are going to see a sample shareholders resolution, again a bit different resolution because now they have given you the details. So the existing authorized share capital is rupees 50 lakhs divided into 5 lakh equity shares of rupees 10 each, and they want to increase it to 75 lakhs divided into 7,50,000 equity shares of rupees 10 each. So this detailed question was asked for 5 marks. Okay, so now let's begin. Before begin, I hope now we are doing that exercise. Remember the section number. So we have learned the types of share capital, that is alteration of types of share capital, which is section number 61. So as per section 61, we can increase, we can reduce, we can consolidate, we can subdivide, and we can convert. So out of this, the first one is increase in share capital, right? After remembering the section, now you have to remember the procedure of the same. We need to convey in board meeting, pass board resolution. After that, we need to convey in general meeting, and for increase in share capital, we require ordinary resolution. After this, we don't require any authority's approval. So as this is the shareholders resolution only, are we going to write anything called as subject to? The answer is no. I hope now we are understanding. See guys, this requires a practice. So practice minimum 2 board resolutions and 2 shareholders resolution so that you are ready for your exam. Okay, so let us see the draft. Pursuant to section 61, okay, read with section 64 and other applicable provisions of your Companies Act. Directly you can jump to the consent of board of directors be and is hereby accorded to increase the authorized share capital of the company. Now as it is, you have to copy from your question. That existing capital was 50 lakhs divided into 5 lakh equity shares of rupees 10 each, and we are increasing that to 75 lakhs divided into 7,50,000 shares of rupees 10 each. I hope all of you understood this. So this is your first paragraph. Now your second paragraph, again, are we altering the memorandum over here? Yes, when you are increasing the authorized share capital, it is given in your fifth clause, so definitely you are altering, because right now the limit is 50 lakh. Now you want to increase that to 75 lakh rupees. So the second paragraph will be alteration of your MOA. Remember students, alteration of MOA, AOA will not come in the board resolution. As we saw, the first resolution was change of name. Did we write there change of memorandum? The answer was no, because that was a board resolution. But if it would have been the shareholders resolution, we would have mentioned there that alteration of first clause. I hope all of you understood. So this being your shareholders resolution, we are going to alter the fifth clause of your MOA. So let us see that. Resolved further that MOA of company be altered in the following manner. Existing clause and will be deleted, and same will be substituted for the following new clause. So Roman letter 5, then you have to start. Authorized share capital of company 75 lakhs divided into 7,50,000 equity shares of rupees 10 each. You have to give all these detailings properly, write in words also, write in figures also. So now once I have altered this, now we are going for which paragraph? Yes, you all got it right. It's a authorization paragraph. One authorization to director, one authorization to the company secretary. So resolve further that for purpose of giving effect to this resolution, board of the company be and is hereby authorized to take all such steps and actions. See over here, these drafts are taken from your ICSI module, but which I have given you, you can write it as it is. Also, you all our JKSC students have my drafting notes with you. So make sure you learn the draft and write in your exams. To the other students, you can also refer the draft which I had written. I'll show you one more time. You can take the screenshot of that and learn that. What all things you need to replace in that? Section numbers, approvals, and if there is any alteration of MOA, then the second paragraph will be changed. I hope this video was very useful to all of you. So this is how we alter our authorized share capital of the company. So now you can take the screenshot of this so that it will be helpful for you, or you can read this. Okay, I hope this video was very much useful to you. Thank you so much guys, and all the very best for your exams. See you soon.